I thought I would just do a real quick video on sort of social posting again. I know it's something that we all struggle with around content. I know I certainly do. What I'm trying to do at the moment is I'm really just trying to lean into, you know, how something that's happened in my day, how it's inspired me, affected me, influenced me, and how that becomes a business learning or something I can translate into what I do. So for you as makers, like if you're a maker, it might be the inspiration behind why you use that particular material or that design aspect or, things like that. So, for me, I've recently gone on holiday, and I tried to tie into some of that. So there was a hell of a lot that was just storytelling, which is just that trust engagement. And then there was parts of it where I then went, well, what's my learning out of what I did today? So the big one was around my fear of heights. So I tried to bring that in. Some of those places I went, they weren't that bad. For the average person, many people would have just driven up that without even thinking about it. Um, but because I have such a fear of heights, it was terrifying for me. So that became a fear that I had to get over. But it could be something that the person next to me goes, "What are you talking about? Like, why? Like that this is nothing." So, we all have different experiences, and those experiences influence us as people and influences how we create and how we translate into our business. So that's what I'm really trying to lean into now is how I use that. So example for me today. So today one was I got up this morning and my phone had a notification on it from my fitness tracker to say that my distance walked and my steps, average steps, are declining, rapidly declining, actually, it said. So then I went, oh, okay. So I clicked in and I went, oh, yeah, I've just been away on holidays. I did a lot of walking. I did a lot of sightseeing, all that. I was quite active. My steps were up. I've since come home. It's winter here. It's cold. Don't really want to go outside too much. And I've got work to do. So I've parked myself back at my desk and I've just been working away. So my steps and my um, activity level has really dropped off. Now, if I hadn't have got that notification, I wouldn't have given it a second thought. I would have just got up, gone to my desk, gone about my day, and not even considered the fact that my activity level has really dropped off. So by having that notification, I'm now like, oh, okay, I don't want to become that person who doesn't move. I want to keep active. I want to keep healthy. So now I'm going to put my runners on at the end of the day and I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to make sure I bring those steps back up and get out of that decline and make sure I try and maintain that level of activity that I had while I was away because that's a healthy level of activity for me. So then my post is explaining that, but then how am I going to turn that into my business post? So from a services perspective, I'm going to then say, you know, how then setting goals or reports or targets can help you in your business as well. Because if you don't measure some of the aspects of where you're on your business, you don't know where you are. So that could just be your social engagement if you're just trying to build your page. So, make sure every week, like every Sunday night, just log in, go to your analytics and write down what your engagement is. And just do that every week. So then you can see, am I tracking up? Am I tracking down? It gives you perspective. If you don't do that, you don't know where you are and you don't ever challenge yourself. So if you're doing that every week and you go, oh, I'm dropping off a little bit, you might go, oh, if I just get that one more post in, I'm going to push that back up and meet my target. So it gives you that, awareness and that motivation to go that little extra mile to make sure that it happens. So, whether that's a, financial tracker, whether that's a social tracker, whether that's a website traffic tracker, there's plenty of things within your business that you can track, and they don't have to be complex. They can just be simple little things that you just write down once a week and, make sure that you keep the motivation up to do that. So that's what my post is going to be about today. easy piece of content just from looking at a notification on my phone. So, yeah, I'm just going to try and find something in every day that's a life lesson and talk about that life lesson. So, just for another example, then on that is, and then Courtney, I'm going to use you as an example for this one because I think this is quite relevant as well, and it's a good one. Um, while I was over in Virginia City, Courtney came over for a few days as well, and we hung out for that time. And of course, we're both, creative minded, and we discussed design and things like that. So Courtney was talking about the program she uses to design in. I'd never used it before. So she grabs the computer out and logs in, and then I have a play with it. So, I ask it to create this little bison design, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, quite quickly, it turned out quite cute. We didn't have a lot of time, and it was just like, oh, look at this, it's cute. Oh, yeah, that's a good program, like move on. She saved it. And then yesterday she sent me the finished design. So she'd gone back in, she'd fiddled with the original design I'd done, added some more elements to it, and has come up with another design for a t-shirt. So there's a, great example. So, Courtney, if you then go and go, okay, I'm going to put that design on a t-shirt and I'm going to list that in my store. Well, instead of just listing that as a social post of going new design, you can put the image of that t-shirt and write the story behind it. So so I've done that. So I've just jumped into my chat, gave it a bit of the background history that we've just talked about now. And this is what chat has come up with. Obviously, you're going to rewrite this, in your own brand voice and stuff, but this is where chat comes in good just to help you with those ideas to get that out. So it came up with some designs start with a plan. Others start with a little play and a lot of curiosity and two creative brains bouncing ideas around. I was in Virginia City. Mel from Rome in the West and I had the chance to spend some time together, and naturally we ended up talking design. I showed her the program I used to create some of my artwork and patterns, and she sat down at my computer to have a little play around with it. She started experimenting with a bison design just to see how the program worked, and before long we had the beginning of something pretty cute. We saved it. I came back to it later, added my own finishing touches, and this is where it landed. This is one of my favourite parts of the creative process. Sometimes the best ideas come from collaboration, a fresh set of eyes, a different way to look at things, a quick what if we tried this? A little spark that turns into a finished piece. Part Mel's play and curiosity, part my style and finishing touches. It is always special when a design has a story behind it, and this little bison definitely does. And then you would have a picture of that image. And then you could also then have at the end of that go, this design is now on a t-shirt and is available in my store. So that's a soft sell lens. So you're still letting people know that it's a product they can buy, but you're not just putting a design up and saying, buy this shirt. It's now got emotion behind it. It's got meaning behind it. And that's what sells. That's what people want to resonate with, is the stories, the inspiration, and all things like that. So there's just a good example there of, how to start marketing or adding to your marketing around that emotional hook for people. So you kind of want that system where you've got like 80% storytelling, inspiration, about the business, about your process, all those educational, all those sorts of things, and then 20% sell. Within that 80%, you can still do those bits of soft sell at the end, but it's not a buy this, it's a here's how this become and this is now available. So yeah, that's a good example of that. So yeah, I kind of challenge you, if you want to sort of start getting a bit of traction in your socials and bring those people in, just have a think about every day, a conversation you have with someone, something that happens, something you see on the news, anything that you can turn into a learning, an inspiration, an idea that's relevant to your business and resonates with you. Keep it authentic, obviously. And see how you go with, that sort of content like that. It should help you grow. And then the other thing too, wherever possible, try and make those reels, because your reels is what goes out to your non-followers your posts will go out to more followers, some non-followers, and then your stories only get seen by your followers. So keep that in mind too, that Reels is the fastest way that you're going to get traction. So anyway, I hope that helps a little bit with a few ideas. It's definitely what I'm on track for now. I'm just going to find that one thing every day and build that into my posts and see how I go. So yeah, hope that helps you guys.